Okay, so for number 28, okay, so what's going on with number 28? Well, for number 28, what we are saying here is that we have an inequality that's greater than or equal to -30, okay? Now, so, well, we can do the regular work, but for this one, we will take a different approach, okay? We will take a different approach. This approach is more conceptual, and it really tests your understanding. And I'm going to annotate everything I need to make sure that you understand everything. So what I want to show you here is that let's take a look on the left-hand side. Okay, the highlighted part, the absolute value of 5x minus 7. Now, one thing about the true understanding of absolute value symbol, okay, or expression, is that it is always going to be, zero or greater, okay? So for this whole, not 5x minus 7, right? Listen very carefully. I'm not saying 5x minus 7. I'm saying the whole thing, absolute value of anything, it's going to be 0 or greater, okay? If you don't trust me, go ahead, try it out. Like absolute value of -h, it's going to be h. Absolute value of 0, it's going to be 0. Absolute value of 10 is 10. So whatever number you put into the absolute value symbol, that's going to be a positive number or a 0. So now we say, oh, hey guys, so this expression is saying the absolute value of something is greater than or equal to -30. Well, so you think about this. The absolute value of 0, the absolute value of something, it's going to be greater than or equal to -30. I mean, duh. Of course, it's going to be bigger than or equal to -30. It's always going to be bigger than or equal to -30. Sorry. It's always going to be bigger than or equal to -30 because it is going to be always bigger than or equal to 0. Okay. Now make sure you are speaking human. Okay. Take yourself out of the math brain, speak human. The absolute value of anything is 0 or greater, and it is going to be greater than -30 at all times. And that means it doesn't matter what you put in for x, this statement will always be true. Okay, so we say absolute value of 5x minus 7, okay, is greater than -30. This statement is always true, regardless of x value. What does that mean then? Well, since x could be anything, then we say, oh, x would be all real numbers. Or if you use interval notation, you would do this. Okay. Now, this is the kind of understanding I really want to achieve here. Okay, this is the kind of understanding I really, really want to achieve here, is that you have the fundamental understanding of what an absolute value expression is. It is always going to be 0 or greater. Okay, absolute value of anything, it's going to be 0 or greater. So therefore, it's always going to be greater than or equal to -30. Okay, it's always true. Now, if you say, well, I want a more procedural way to do this. Okay, what you can do is this. It's going to be tedious, okay, but it works. So what we do is this. We will go ahead and set it equal, change it to an equal sign. And the reason why we're going to do this is because we are going to find our critical numbers, which is whatever the x is equal to. So now we just do the same math that we did in the past. We just go ahead and explore the two possibilities. So we say 5x minus 7, it's equal to negative 30, no change. And then 5x minus 7, it's going to be equal to negative 30. So it's an or relationship, or actually, we don't know yet. So let's go ahead and do these two. And we're going to test, we're going to do the number line, and we have to test it out. So we say add 7 on both sides. So we have negative 23, and x is equal to negative 23 over 7. And then on the right-hand side, we have 5x minus 7 is equal to 30. And we add 7 on both sides. So we have 5x is equal to 37. So x is equal to 37 over 5. And then let's go ahead and draw a number line. Okay. And let me make it black so it's easier to see. And then we have 37 over 5. And then we have 23 over 7 negative. Okay. So now what we do is this. Let's keep in mind that we have this as our inequality. Okay. And what we do is to pick some numbers and test. Okay. I'm going to test. And now we're going to do some one more thing too, because it's greater than or equal to in the very beginning of the inequality. Let's go ahead and do a closed circle at these two spots first. Because of the equal thing right here on the inequality, we can go ahead and draw the closed circle. And now let's pick some values. Okay, let's pick a value. So 37 over 5, it's around 7.4. No, 7.4. Yeah, 7.4. So let's go ahead and pick a value 8. Okay, so we say, does 8 work? Well, let's go ahead and test it out. 5 times 8 minus 7. It's greater than negative 30. And it's 40 minus 7. It's greater than or equal to negative 30. Absolute value of 33. It's greater than or equal to negative 30. 33, it's greater than or equal to negative 30. Yes, it's true. So 8 is good. That means the whole interval is good. Okay, the whole interval is good. So let me go ahead and highlight this part. This is a good part. Any values in this part will be our solution, but we're not done yet. Let's pick a number in between these two and pick an easy number. Let's pick 0. Okay, 0 is a nice number to test. So we say, all right, absolute value of 5 times 0 minus 7 is greater than or equal to negative 30. And then 0 minus 7, absolute value, it's greater than or equal to negative 30. Absolute value of negative 7, it's greater than or equal to negative 30. 7 is greater than or equal to negative 30. Yes, that's true too. So that means the whole interval right here, these are our solutions too. All the numbers in this interval, they will be our solutions too. All right. So what about this one? So this is negative 23 over 7. It's like negative 3 point something. So let's pick, let's say negative 10, for example, to test. Okay, just to make sure we don't make any mental mistakes. So absolute value of 5 times negative 10 minus 7 is greater than or equal to negative 30. Negative 50 minus 7. Absolute value, it's greater than or equal to negative 30. And then you have negative 57, absolute value, okay? It's greater than or equal to negative 30. And you have 57, it's greater than or equal to negative 30. And this is true as well. So, as you can see here, it really doesn't matter what X you put into. This statement is always going to be true. Always, 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 always. So that's why our solution for this one is X is all real numbers, or with interval notation from negative infinity to infinity. using parentheses for both negative infinity and infinity. Okay. All right. So that's it for number 28. So again, I really hope that you can understand this more conceptually, like this part right here, because if you do, then you really understand the nature of absolute value. It's going to be so good for you for this test. It's so good for you for SAT, because guess what? There's something for the SAT as well. Okay. Now, please do not memorize anything. Understand the meaning of this inequality statement. What we are saying is that absolute value of something, it happens to be 5x minus 7, but whatever, absolute value of something is greater than or equal to negative 30, and this is always true. This is always true. Okay, now we'll go ahead and investigate number 30 for the next video. So that's going to surprise you. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch the next video for question number 30.